Okay, so you've shared some really interesting material with us, focusing on healthcare marketing and website consulting.
Yeah, it looks like a deep dive into the strategies that actually work in that specific field.
Exactly. So what we want to do here is unpack all this, pull out the key insights, you know, really get to the heart of what makes for effective healthcare marketing and a solid website strategy today.
Sounds good. And there's quite a range of services mentioned here, so it seems pretty comprehensive.
Definitely. Let's start with the source, Ron Arellano and Search Business Group.
Right. Ron Arellano, the founder and president, what immediately jumps out is his experience over 2 decades in digital marketing.
That's a long time in this field. Things change so fast.
They really do.
Yeah.
So that kind of longevity, well, it suggests he really understands the fundamentals, not just the fleeting trends.
And look at the clients mentioned, Florida Hospital Ocala, T-Mobile, even the NY Mets, Bridgestone. These aren't small operations.
No, absolutely not. Working with names like that, it definitely lends credibility. It shows his approach scales and delivers results at a high level.
So it's not just theory. He's clearly applied this stuff in the real world.
Precisely. And the breadth of expertise listed is quite wide, too. We're talking branding, website design, UX UI, which is huge for user experience.
Yeah, how people actually use the site.
Exactly. Then there's content marketing, SEO, PPC, the visibility drivers, and even call tracking. It covers the whole life cycle, sort of.
And I noticed the mention of multilingual capabilities, English and Spanish, and experience in the Latin American market. That seems like a significant plus for reaching Hispanic audiences, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's a really valuable skill set, especially in healthcare where culturally sensitive communication is so important.
Okay, let's talk about this two-stage approach they describe. Stage one is design, development, and strategic. Stage two is client acquisition. How does that break down practically?
Well, think of the first stage, branding, web design, UX, UI, content, as building your house. It's the foundation.
Right. You need a solid structure first.
Exactly. Especially in healthcare. You need that professional look, that trust factor. The website has to be easy for patients, maybe stress patients, to navigate. The content needs to be clear, reassuring, informative.
Makes sense. So you get your online house in order before you invite people over, so to speak.
You got it. Then the second stage, client acquisition, that's SEO, PPC, call tracking, that's like putting up signposts and running ads to get the right people to your door.
Okay, so driving qualified traffic.
Precisely. SEO helps people find you when they search for relevant terms. PPC can give you that immediate visibility boost. And call tracking, well, that tells you which signposts are actually working, which ads are making the phone ring.
So you're not just guessing what brings in patients.
No, you're using data. It's about making that foundation visible and then measuring what brings people in. It's a logical flow. Build it right, then promote it smartly.
And they back this up with some pretty striking results, don't they? The orthodontics example, a 12x increase in appointments, calls,
Yep.
traffic.
Wow. Yeah, a 12-fold increase is, well, it's huge.
Yeah.
Looking at the services listed for them, SEO, content, call tracking, maintenance, it suggests a really integrated effort.
So good visibility through SEO, content that connects, and tracking to refine it all.
That seems likely. Plus, ongoing maintenance to keep everything running smoothly. You can't just set it and forget it.
True. And the gym and fitness one, a 953% increase in calls and memberships, conversions up 7 times. That's another big number.
It really is. And notice they specifically mention UX UI design for that client, along with website design, content, SEO, PPC, the works.
Ah, okay. So maybe the user experience on their site was a key factor there.
Could well be. For a gym, making it super easy to see schedules, sign up, understand memberships online that can make or break it. Combine that smooth experience with targeted traffic from SEO and PPC, and you see those kinds of results.
And even the food catering example, up to 10x increase across revenue, calls, traffic.
Yeah, it seems this two-stage model foundation first, then acquisition translates across different industries, even though the specific tactics might vary. You know, for catering, maybe the branding and the e-commerce functionality were particularly important.
It really highlights the importance of getting both pieces right, doesn't it? The
Yeah.
look and feel and the visibility.
Absolutely. They work hand in hand.
Let's maybe unpack some of those expertise areas a bit more. Branding in healthcare, what does a compelling brand identity really mean in that context?
Well, it's more than just a nice logo, right? In healthcare, it's fundamentally about trust, expertise, empathy.
Okay.
So the branding needs to communicate that clearly. Clear messaging about why a patient should choose you, a visual style that feels professional and caring, a consistent tone everywhere. It's about making that connection. And yeah, they mention a link to learn more, which suggests there's depth there.
And UX UI design, user experience, user interface. We
Yeah.
touched on it, but for a healthcare site, what are the absolute must-haves?
Intuitive navigation is probably number one. Patients are often looking for specific things, doctor info, services, appointment booking, maybe symptoms. It has to be easy.
Reducing friction, basically.
Exactly. Reduce frustration, build confidence. Clear calls to action are vital too. Book online, call us, find a doctor. Make the next step obvious. Again, there's a link if you want to go deeper on that.
Makes sense. And the website design and development itself, beyond looks and usability.
Oh, responsiveness is key. It has to work perfectly on phones, tablets, desktops. Everyone uses different devices.
Right, non-negotiable these days.
Totally. And it needs to be secure, obviously, dealing with potentially sensitive info. It should be easy for the practice to update content too. The central hub, the Learn Website Design link probably covers those technical aspects.
Okay, content marketing. What kind of content really hits home for healthcare consumers?
Content that genuinely helps them, answers their questions about conditions, treatments, procedures, but in plain language, not dense medical jargon.
Accessible information.
Yes. Blog posts, articles explaining things, maybe videos. It builds trust, positions the practice as an authority, and importantly, it's great for SEO. Search engines love valuable, informative content. The link there likely goes into strategy.
Which leads us right into SEO, search engine optimization. For a local doctor's office or clinic, what's the focus?
Local SEO, absolutely critical. Optimizing for searches like pediatrician near me or urgent care your city.
So very geographically focused.
Exactly. Things like getting your Google My Business profile perfect, getting listed in local directories, encouraging patient reviews. Those are all key tactics. The Learn SEO link would detail that.
And PPC pay-per-click ads, how does that fit into the healthcare picture? Is it just for big hospitals?
Not necessarily. PTC lets you be very targeted. You can aim ads at specific demographics, people searching for specific services right in your service area. It offers immediate visibility while your SEO builds up.
So a faster route to leads, potentially?
Potentially, yes. But it needs careful management to make sure you're getting a good return on your ad spend. It's not just about getting clicks, it's about getting clicks that convert into patients. The PPC link probably covers that ROI aspect.
Okay, and lastly, call tracking. Why is that so important?
Because for many practices, a phone call is still a primary way new patients make contact. Call tracking lets you know which marketing efforts are actually generating those calls.
Ah, so you can see if it was the Google ad, or the website's SEO, or maybe a specific blog post that prompted the call.
Precisely. You use different phone numbers for different campaigns. It gives you actionable data to see what's truly effective, so you can double down on what works and maybe adjust what doesn't. That link likely explains the mechanics.
That ability to track back to the source seems incredibly valuable for optimizing the budget.
It is. No more flying blind.
And circling back to something we noted earlier, the experience with Hispanic audiences and the Latin American market, that really does feel like a distinct advantage.
It really is. Being able to create campaigns and websites in both English and Spanish, understanding the cultural nuances, that allows healthcare providers to connect authentically with a huge and growing community. It's about more than just translation, it's about cultural relevance.
So thinking about the listener, maybe someone working in marketing for a hospital, or perhaps a dentist who owns their practice and website, who is this really for?
Well, based on everything we've discussed, it seems ideal for healthcare marketing folks wanting a more robust, results-driven strategy. Also, website owners, doctors, practice managers who want their site to be more than just an online brochure. They want it to actively bring in patients.
Right. Anyone looking for growth.
Exactly. Businesses that want better branding, better online visibility, and ultimately more client or patient acquisition. The approach seems scalable too.
Okay, so if someone listening feels this resonates with their needs, what's the recommended next step?
The materials clearly push towards scheduling a free consultation. They make it easy with contact info for both their Orange County and Los Angeles County offices, plus phone numbers and hours.
So a direct conversation is encouraged.
Yeah, seems that way. They also mention a get a quote option and a contact us link, providing a few different ways to reach out depending on what you need. And they reiterate they're ready to help, whether the target is English-speaking or Hispanic markets.
All right, so wrapping this all up, what's the main takeaway from this deep dive?
I think the core message is the power of that structured two-stage approach. You absolutely need that strong digital foundation. First, the branding, the user-friendly website, the valuable content.
Take the house in order.
Right. And then you strategically drive traffic using things like SEO and PPC, constantly measuring with tools like call tracking to refine and improve. It's a continuous loop.
And considering the landscape today, how crucial online presence and patient trust are in healthcare.
Well, that's where connecting the dots becomes important. You look at Ron Ariano's really deep experience in digital marketing. You see the kind of proof in those case studies. Those are not small improvements.
No, definitely not.
And you factor in the specialized knowledge of healthcare, plus that ability to connect with diverse audiences like Spanish speakers. When you put all that together...
It starts to paint a pretty compelling picture.
Exactly. Considering that proven expertise, the data showing real results, and the sheer breadth of services specifically geared towards healthcare needs, partnering with Ron Ariano and Search Business Group looks like a really strong strategic move in today's market. Their track record of boosting traffic, leads, and growth suggests they're well positioned to help you hit your own business goals in healthcare. It's about leveraging that specific expertise to navigate online patient acquisition effectively.